Everybody, welcome back. I'm Christo. This is Songs of Six. It is once again a new day, and we have some science pouring in. I think what are we headed towards? 11,000? Okay, so we actually haven't got that much more coming in, it looks like. In the last episode, we reaped the benefits of suddenly having all these tools. We stuck them into a bunch of our industries. Now, I thought I had already given them to all industries, but it turned out I hadn't to fisheries, I think. So I'm just going to check. Yeah, seems like all industries. And we are now using 910 tools. That's actually approaching a problematic level. As I recall, we reckoned we could sustain 1,156 tool use with our current daily production. So we are approaching the point when we need to scale up our smithy, which is not surprising. You know, we built a really small little smithy. Oh, I forgot. We actually only half employed it as well. So we can get another blacksmith in there. Whoa, what the hell happened in the metal place? He was murdered? Okay, I didn't notice that happened right at the end. Oh, and I have trapped you two in this station. So the last thing we did in the last episode, of course, was set up our new fishery spots, which should completely skyrocket our fish production. We should probably, we should possibly export our fish at some point. I'm not sure. I like having lots of it. The other thing we can do is just give it to the fishy boys, which will help them out. Well, there's been a murder, so let's deal with that. Law is looking a little low. There has been an arrest, apparently. Do we have a pop-up about this? Yes. One person was murdered. Who were you murdered? Were you murdered by this guy grabbing a bite to eat? That's not great. Burial site, graveyard 1. Not yet, it ain't, buddy. You're still in the smelter. Insufficient workers allocated. Yeah, because one of them's lying dead. Okay. We need to establish some law in this town, is what I'm hearing. So, let us invent the concept of justice. Or actually, I think we already... Excuse me, we already had some law buildings, right? Because we unlocked them for the size of our kingdom, or population, rather. So we have stockades, which holds prisoners before processing them in a law facility. Guard posts deter crime, rush to any committed in the vicinity, and have your justice done to the perpetrators. Then we have dungeons. Court criminals and other predators are taken for storage. After a few years, they come back out as useful subjects again. Their jailers bring them food, clean their latrines, make sure the prisons are well maintained, or it will count towards your cruelty. Okay. Occasionally a prisoner might escape. Then we have scaffolds, so we can execute prisoners if we want to. We'll spread fear amongst our subjects. Central location. We have slavers, so we can turn prisoners and criminals into slaves if we want to. And stocks. Feel ashamed for 2 seasons before they've served their punishment. A cheap and effective punishment for crimes. Make sure it's placed in a crowded area. Nice. So we could build those. Let's take a look at what people like. Why are you dropping? Because you have wrongful deaths. One of our people have wrongful died. And their memory lingers for some time after the event. Interesting. Alright, so we need law. So some people care about equality. Who doesn't? Oh, no one cares about equality. Actually, now I look at it. The plebeians do not care about equality. Okay, but they do care about law. How crimes are handled and processed in the city. It's liked by your plebeians. So everyone likes it. These guys care a bit less. Okay, and they have different punishments that they care about. So these guys do not like it when people are executed, enslaved, or stocked. Dundorians do like it when people are executed, judged, stocked, or pardoned. You guys are both... So these three are all identical. You're identical. You're identical. And we don't care about these guys yet. So basically, everyone will be happy if we got prisoners, occasionally pardoned them, occasionally executed them, occasionally judged them, and occasionally stopped them, except these guys, who would be mad about prisoners being executed, enslaved, or stocked. They would rather they were imprisoned. But no one else likes imprisonment. I'm going to be real with you, Cretonians. You ain't going to win this one. And right now, we are automatically exiling them, I think. Yeah. It is the default form if no other punishment is chosen. So you can go into this system and you can say, okay, for each species, what do you want to do when they are caught? What portion do you want to exile? What portion do you want to imprison? What portion execute, enslave, kill in the arena, which I assume is just the same as execute, but you get a bit more happiness out of it because people get to go and watch the gladiatorial games. We're definitely going to set that up. That sounds fun. And then, do you arrest them? So we could choose to not arrest people? Interesting. So we could just make a species above the law. And then you can also prosecute. This is just a way to like purge a particular species from your settlement, basically. So yeah, I don't know why we would imprison anyone. I mean, I guess because you get to keep them afterwards. Hopefully they learn their lesson and become productive. Does not deter crime very much. Always good to keep a few prisoners in stock to use for temples and arenas. Ah, so you execute people in... you can actually sacrifice people in temples, it sounds like. Dope. Executions deter time significantly. Enslaving deters them somewhat. I don't think we're going to enslave because, again, we're not enslaving right now. So right now, why not? And hang on, with the stocks, because if I execute everybody, they're still going to the stocks. We can see that, yeah, they all have the fulfillment arrows on them. There's a 30% arrest rate on Cretonians. So I guess the Cretonian is the one that's committed our first crime. Or we've had like 3 Cretonian crimes committed and caught one of them so far. We've had a flashing and a murder recently. And I think all the crimes are considered equal. Like, we can't say for thefts. Oh, there's been thefts going on. Do thefts actually take like stuff out of your stockpile? Or out of other people's houses? I don't know how that works. So why would you not execute everybody? Because if one of our guys dies, you know, whatever. A Garthimri commits a crime, we kill him, a new Garthimri immigrates in. Who cares, right? That doesn't, that seems like an easy way to get a bit of boost. I guess because they like it a bit when there's stocks and judging going on. Actually, didn't they like it when there's enslavement as well? No, they don't care about enslavement. And they don't care about killed in the arena either. No one cares about it? No, no one cares about people being killed in the arena. But they would like attending the arena, I think. That's a separate services thing. Yeah, they like going to fight pits. Okay, and does everyone like that? Yeah, even the guys that don't like fight pits being used like that. Okay. Can you have fight pits without executing prisoners? I don't know. But to start with, I think we're just going to execute everyone. Now, there is a reason to not do this, which is, I'm thinking, there might be others, but the one I'm immediately coming to mind is education. If we've put work into educating our people, like our Dundorians here, for example, where do you actually see, when it says 15%, increased by having them go to school when young, and universities when adult, increases productivity. So their current value is 15.8%. Oh, okay, yeah, I understand. They currently 15.8% educate on average, which is lowering their fulfillment from 1 to 0.84, because they don't like being educated. So if we were to execute a bunch of Dundorians and import new ones, their average education would drop, because they're getting some education from the speakers right now. Now, that is much less of a concern now than when we later have more education buildings. Because if we've invested time and resources in having someone go to education, then what is this work time percentage? Oh, it's progress. Okay. I was thinking like, I'm working 16% of the time. We need to get that number up. But no, that's not what it means. Okay. So I think for now we just execute everybody. And then maybe when we... Oh, you know what we're going to do? Given that people don't care about equality, it seems. Like no one cares about this at all. What we probably do is don't execute in the fullness of time. There need to be some executions happening in the city to make people happy about the executions. We probably will do enslaving. It's just that we won't really use the slaves for much, and then we'll just sell them. That seems fine. You know, it's just like, it's exile, but we make money out of it, basically. They do also like it when some people are pardoned. The value needs to be 10% for max fulfillment on pardons. Okay, so we will just say, like, I'm sure you didn't mean it on some cases. Oh, hang on. How do I tell them to be pardoned sometimes? Do I just reduce this by a bit? 10% is the target rate for do nothing. And then the rest we execute. Yeah, and then maybe we work on prisons and things later. And what we'll do is we'll imprison those species whose education we care about, which is going to be humans and Dundorians. Although, actually, now I think about it, the indoctrination rate is also important. Yeah, we shouldn't forget that. You know, having them be indoctrinated makes them happier, quite a bit happier. So we shouldn't neglect the fact that we would also be losing indoctrination by executing. Interesting. Oh, you should not be being educated. Damn, that's my bad. Education doesn't make you better warriors, does it? No. No, you guys should be being indoctrinated. It can make you worse at libraries. Does it make you better training for soldiers? No. Makes you happier, though. You guys should be educated. You guys should be indoctrinated. Because you work my fisheries. Darn, we should have changed this way earlier. We've been wasting all this education, making them less happy, but not even more productive. And this doesn't cover... Ah, okay. Do we want a woodcutter bonus on our elves? Or do we want a... Auroch pastures and is it not boosting their fruit farm? So the the fruit orchards? Oh, it is, yeah. 25% fruit farm bonus, or there's also the carry capacity bonus from education. That's good, because that means the Dundorians carrying will help. I will indoctrinate these guys as well. Make them happier. Okay, so with all that in mind, step one, we need to catch people if we are to actually put this stuff into practice. And for these guard posts, we need improvised leather. So we should... not improvised, but leather, sorry. Leather armor. So we better get a new tailor, because we have the recipe for leather armor, right? No. Okay, we actually have to invent that as well. How much is that going to run me? Only 100 knowledge. Okay, that's fine. How much does this tailoring upgrade cost? Not very much. Should probably get that as well. For the upgraded rooms. It's only... Well, I don't know. We should be... I don't want to be using tech right now just for efficiency bonuses. I think we should prioritize using it when we like really need it. Because it feels like we're short on tech right now. What does this do? Oh, this is the hunger reduction. Yeah, the food nutrition bonus. We will want that at some point. I mean, yeah, we'll want all of it at some point, but for now, I think we should be okay. How much does the fight pit cost, by the way? What better than to finish a long work by watching two men beat each other bloody? Only 250. And then the grand arena. Unlock the architectural plans to build the greatest arena ever conceived. We'll get that later. Okay, so we need a new tailor, which we'll put down here. And I think I will add a door here so that it has access to it. We'll put a little tailor down here. Doesn't need to be big because it's just to man our... it's literally just to man our... what am I trying to say here? To equip our guards. That's what I'm grasping at. There we go. Just make it a nice little thin thing. Just 2 employees. Should be more than enough. Okay. We might want to expand this warehouse. The problem is when you expand a warehouse, you have to redo all of the connections. It's a pain. Right. Are you guys still cut off down here? Yeah. So Amoeba South. Gonna need you guys to remove that wall. Let them in and out. There we go. Good. Now, I think I do need to refit this, unfortunately, because it's looking real janky. Let's refit it. We want a door here and a door here. That works well. Let them build it. Okay, and now this is Mevius. Oh. Mevius South. Mevius South pulls from central storage, and it pulls from food storage. And from central storage, it just pulls, yep, those 4. And from food storage, it doesn't need to pull fish, but it needs to pull fruit. And then I guess it should also actually pull from the local unreachable. Oh, I've done this without a door as well. Clearly I was getting tired when I was finishing up last night. Hang on, that didn't take. Put a door here. A door here. No? Remove that wall. Not quite sure what's going on. Refurbish. Door. Here. It's going to have highest isolation. Oh, right. Okay, I built it a bit too close to these buildings. We can accept that for now, I think. There we go. Now it has a door. Let it finish. This is Fish South. And Fish South is pulled from Amoeba South to make sure there's always fish staying down here. Excuse me, Amoeba South. So Fish South needs designating. At least it keeps these, but it really ought to keep these as well. Maybe there's some good reason why that's not plausible. And then Fish here. Oh, it kept it pull source. I'm not sure when it resets these. It's interesting that it didn't reset that time. Well, no matter. Let's keep things going here. Okay, so we've got a new tailor up and running. And I think we're going to find ourselves with a leather shortage. Yeah, I mean, we're making 15 a year and we're using 41 of it in tailors right now. You know what? I could have just changed this tailor, I guess. Discharging is apparently the verb they've decided to use there. It's nasty. So how many clothes do we think we need? Let me make sure my counts of people are right. We have 100 Dundorians these days. We have 50 humans. We have 50 insects. We're not perfectly happy now, I notice. We have 50 fish. We have 25 tilapis. We right now actually have 25 Plutonians. Okay, so we should need 17 clothes per day. So our northern weaver is outputting slightly less than that with 2 people employed. So actually, we could do with the weaver being larger. We don't have a big surplus of cotton though, so we may need more cotton farming going on. We have some spare Crotonians right now. Oh, right, and I got a new... Didn't I unlock a new noble? Can I elevate you? Yes, okay, so... What do we want? Master of the Feast. Brewers and bakeries. It's pretty good. Master of Textiles. I mean, we're looking into that right now. Industry, just to give a straight 0.1 across everything. It seems harder to argue with. Hard to argue with, rather. And we should check. So Dondorians, you have one of the nobles, right? Here it is, noble. For max fulfillment, this value needs to be 0%. Really? Oh, does that mean you just have any noble of this species is sufficient? Maybe that's just a visual bug. But yeah, having another noble of one of these species would help them be happier. So who is least happy right now? It is the insects by some margin. So let's give the insects a noble, and I will make it a master of industry, just because that's nice and generic, right? Congratulations, recruit. You are elevated to the master of industry. Garthimri noble. Good stuff. Should give them a whole point of happiness, which is pretty nice indeed. So we need more cotton, and that's going to mean some new farming operations on the other side of the river, I think. It's probably the way I'm going to handle that. So give me a cobblestone road over here, and we'll have a kind of multi-connection little thing running along the edge here. I kind of like the idea of a triangle of roads here connecting it up. Nice. Now we need... So how much clothes should we produce? Let's try and double the amount that we technically need in terms of clothes that we're producing. Did I ever give the Garthimris access to a second piece of clothes, by the way? No, they're still on just one. Okay, 252 food days stored is a little farcical. So the cotton, we're using 12 a day, and we're using 24 a day. Okay, is this number right? Why is it low? Is it low? Or is it just that we massively underproduced? I guess the cotton consumption here is being dramatically boosted compared to what we expected because the upgrade and the tools and the education and the species modifier is dramatically increasing it. And of course, when we increase input, we also increase costs, which we wouldn't in the past. So that's what I'm kind of not used to here. I kind of feel like I want to build the fishery already, just so that we don't accidentally use up fishery space. But no, we could just change stuff when we want to add fisheries up here. Because I think the fisheries for now are just going to spread downstream. Because fishing the delta seems fun. So for now, we'll just do this. Okay, so you are producing... How much are you producing relative to base? If we let time go, is this number looking stable-ish? You produce 205 a year. Is that about right? 177. Just going up a bit. 14. With the fertility helping. The work value being 0.75 concerns me. Like, should you have one more worker? Is that the problem? Yeah, I don't want to fire all the workers and test it that way. It looks like the work value is too low. Let's give them a 6th employee. See if that helps. The work value... Maybe it just happened to drop because, I don't know, one of them went off to murder that Dundorian, because I think it was a Gretonian that committed the crime. It seems like it's going to get... it seems like we have too many workers when there are 6 of them assigned here. Speed up time a bit more. Take a look. More people being killed. Are they murders? No, they're accidents. Not a big deal. More people will be let in to replace them. Yes, the work value is climbing, but they are... 97 workload implies that they do need all 6 of these workers. Okay, so we're producing about 12.8 from a base value of... Well, we're expecting... It's a little tricksy, but we should be able to get the skill... Why is the skill modifier lower? Species down? Who's working this thing? Dondorians? Dondorian cotton farmers? Did I do that intentionally? That's the problem. Is it because what jobs are not being done in the industry in this section? None, but it's showing a red bar. Maybe it's because the training grounds aren't being used because these guys are fully trained. Some of them are fully trained. Not sure. But yeah, more importantly, priorities. You You're cotton farming. You're more important cotton farming. Okay, is it just that you... We don't have enough of them. Okay, so let's go to 25 Crotonians. Sorry, to 50 Crotonians, which I will update in my sheet. So that means we need 19 food. Sorry, 18.7 clothes and 164 food per day. So that should replace them. Because what I'm expecting to see here is an increase of 40% based on species. But let's see, as they all pour in... Oh, they're still staying happy. That's great. We should see them slowly replaced. Yeah, so we're expecting a 1.4 bonus. So in general, I'm expecting about a 200% bonus on the base productivity of these farms. And that's important because we established that we want so 1.5 to 1 here, right? Sorry, here. It's 1.5 to 1. Yeah. 1.25 to 1. So we need 20 clothes. Right now, we could employ 2 more people here, which would produce, yeah, about the right amount of clothes. So let's say we're employing 2 more people here. It means we need 44 fabric per day for now. So to make 44 fabric per day, we need 44 cotton per day because it's a 1-to-1 here. Okay. And we can assume that when I build one of these things and it's working properly, it should produce twice as much as the listed output when constructing the farm. That's the relevant stat that I've just been worrying about. So, because the production here is, I think, going to be... Yeah, that's the number that should be doubled. So, let's build it out such that it reckons it's going to be able to produce... Hang on, it's reckoning it's going to make 25. 7.5 production, 25. Maybe the production number is the number of times it does the job that's listed here. 7.45 times 3 is not 25. Is it? No. It's like, yeah, it's like 20. Let's see if this number is right. Let's just test it. So we wanted 44 total. I think once this one upgrades and has the right people working it, it's going to generate... it's going to generate... What am I trying to say here? It's going to generate about 20, 23, 24. So if we build this, that shape, builds 30, combined, they should be producing more than enough. And I would always rather, not always rather, but I'd mostly rather produce more than enough. So 3 more Gritonian workers over here, and build out a, whoops, cancel that. Delete these jobs. Road me. Build out a road connecting it, and then a small one going up it as well. Okay. Now, is this farm too far away? Tiny bit. So we should... How do I do it? Radius. Should increase the radius on this farm to capture this full cotton farm. Okay. And do we have enough housing for Gritonians? Probably not. Actually, we do. Almost exactly enough. And you know what? We should, rather than building new houses, control U, maybe? Did I not designate the housing upgrader? I didn't. What should we make the housing upgrader? Shift H. Right now, H is house construction. Yeah. So, control H on that. Shift H. Good. Control H for housing upgrader. Okay. So let's just add some more residents to some of these existing houses, and you can just see it adds a little staircase down to represent the basement, which I think is a rather neat piece of UI design. All right, here they go. Our 51 odd jobbers. The fact that we have so many odd jobbers is, I'm quite pleased with it, to be honest. So, I'm not sure I explained myself very well why we're doing this. We're increasing cotton production so we can switch all of our clothes production over to weavers and tailors, leaving the leather behind to be used in our armor production. So tailor and furniture. I'm going to count this as tailoring, I guess, and put 2 blocks of leather armor here. Good. The cotton farm here, the production should continue to rise. It takes a whole year for the skill to kind of take effect. But that's fine. Chopping this down. And yeah, we don't have much. Oh, we did have just enough, actually. Good. There we go. So now it has its 3 farmers. And they are of the right species. Good. Okay. So, workload is low. Shouldn't be. Why is your workload low? Why would you only have 34 workload? I think it will rise once they actually... Okay, there we go. Now they're actually planting stuff. Is it going to rise? To 60. Still not as high as I expected. How are you using more tools than this one? Share in some of my treasure. We'll give you a Talapi slave. No, thank you. It's okay. We don't do that here. Okay, there we go. Workload 100%. And it should be right with 3 workers. And I think, yeah, they're living over here. That's close enough. Okay. Now, I think we can also even more slightly kit out these guys. With a bit more armor. Nice. Okay, we now have some leather armor coming in. But we also need to, you know, actually make use of this new cotton influx to count for our clothes production. Which, bear in mind, you know, we have tons of right now. So, we have room in this tailor already. To work just fine. It's interesting, the fact that because the upgrades and things before were kind of mentally... They were overpowered, basically. The reason you upgrade things now is to conserve a workforce, basically. And to make it happier when it's a service building. It's interesting that. So this needs to go up to 8 workers. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to cut it back into the mountain a bit further. And maybe I go around this corner for the aesthetics of the thing. But we want the auxiliary looms, because the auxiliary looms they don't actually use, as far as I can tell. So maybe I should remove an auxiliary loom down here and try and put the actual loom down here instead. So this had 4 employees before, right? So 6. I can slot this in here. 8. There we go. Storage, it still has some storage down here. I think that should be enough storage, given that it's right next to the 2 places where it needs to go. And then I will throw in maybe like that. Actually, that's sufficient. Good, so we actually don't need this extra room, nor this. There we go. Okay, let's get that built. Speed it up. It'll take a while, of course, to chop into the mountain, but that's okay. Bread is still not looking super high. Workload is full. Got the right bonuses applying. I'm not short on grain. We're not actually very... Yeah, we kind of are a little short on grain, it looks like. If I take a look at a grain farm, we only have the one. Like this grain farm of 6 people is producing staggering quantities of food. Your workload's a little low. But maybe that's just because it's winter. But this should be producing 53, so it reckons. This thing needs 64. Okay, need another little grain farm. Not a big one. How much should I overproduce grain? I don't know, but let's just throw it in over here. Keeping to just the mega fertile area, ideally. I think I will micro it such that we stick to the super fertile area. But here, let's add that in. So it says it's going to produce... Right, I forgot to check for the other one. This says it's going to produce, in this case, 27. But I want a round number of farmers. So let's put chunk, chunk, Chunk. There. 3 farmers. Says it's going to produce 29. Let's see what it actually produces. This whole kind of having to grow where the farm or the river already is a fun impact of the fact that I don't want to use canals yet. We will use canals in the fullness of time for sure, but not just yet. So let's see how much that thing reckons it produces. Okay, new weaver is up. Crank that. Employment. And yeah, they reckon they're consuming 51 cotton, which we should be able to produce. You're not producing as much as I expected. How much did it say it was going to make? Crap, I've forgotten already. Certainly not 5, but that number will rise as the work value does. Which it will do steadily through the year, I think, is how it works. It's the amount of total work value needed this cycle. Want to give me some stuff? Nope, that's okay. Maybe I still haven't got enough cotton production. Or is this rising still? Maybe the work value is still rising. Let's go full speed. Give it a while. Let it do a full harvest. Although, I mean, 6 producing 30, 3 producing 16 makes all kinds of sense, right? So maybe I made a mistake somewhere. We have a ton of cotton, but now it's going to get devoured by those weavers. Yeah, let's just increase it a bit more. I mean, you know, one thing you can do is try and do the maths, right? You can try and work out ahead of time how large a farm you need. The other thing you can do is just make it, and then if you need more, build a bit more. You know my proclivities are to do the former, but I can admit, perhaps in this case, we will just do the latter. Add another one there. Again, just trying to stick to the fertile area. And also, don't let me forget, Alt S, yeah. A little bit of roundness structuring to bring some beauty to these workers' lives. You know how they love their round stuff. Those piggy boys. There we go. You're going to trap yourself in? No, you can get out, because these are ceilings. Did not mean to do that. Now you're going to trap yourself in? Oops, don't do that. No, they're okay. There is some stone that's going to be in there for a while. Okay, there we go. Now I think with that, we should have enough cotton production to hold, but we'll see. Storing a lot of fabric. Where's my... I put some fabric storage in here. Okay. Fabric, how quickly does it degrade? Where'd it go? There it is. 4% a year? Not that fast. But ideally, I mean, we do not need to store this much fabric. Better to store the cotton, right? Cotton degrades at a pretty similar rate, actually. Right, so now we can say, hey, Taylor, crank your production. You're going to start devouring the fabric. Good. And now, this Taylor, you can switch to making leather armor. Good. I think we will now have much more leather armor than we need, but it's fine. How fast does that degrade? Yeah, 4.5. So similar. Similar, actually. But yeah, I don't want to store too much fabric because I think it's relatively expensive sometimes. If we store too much, we'll end up in a bad spot on security just from our resource wealth. Almost at 1 million resource wealth now. That's pretty cool. So how are we doing here? Yeah, we should be producing more than we need on that. Ore and coal similarly. Yep. Good stuff. So yeah, I mean, maybe I should think about this. If something spoils at... our Master of Industry has died. So this is the bad thing about the nobilities system. When someone dies, you go and replace them, and that's it. And you just do that repeatedly, which is annoying. Now I think about it, you know what I should do? I should get some cantors in who are... They live an insanely long time, and then we should just make all our nobles cantors, just so I don't have to repeatedly set new Masters of Industry and so on. It's not a big problem by any means, the fact you have to reset it, but this is a bit annoying. So the bakery is producing 64 bread. My spreadsheet says we should only need 50, so I'm a bit surprised that it's this low. But I guess it's... Oh, it spoils 45% a year. That's a lot. So, look at all that. Jesus. It must be a hot day. Look at all that skinny dipping. If something spoils at 100% a year, and you never eat any of it, and you produce 100 a year, what should your stockpile be at once that has reached equilibrium? Is it 100? Because every day you, assuming there are, let's say there's 100 days in a year. I know there's 16 in this game, but 100 days in a year. Each day, if you have 100, one should spoil, and you'll produce one if you're producing 100 a year. Is that right? And so if it's spoiling at 50% a year, and you're producing 100 a year, you should have 200. I think that's right. I'm not sure, though. Anyway, it's not vital that we know. As long as things are trending in the right direction. Meat, we should have 35 meat production. We do, but it's kind of close. So we might want to increase our pastures slightly. I don't want to... I mean, we're getting to the point where we're going to need to set up a separate Cretonian village just for the workers that work our fields. Maybe a bridge across here. And then like a Cretonian home here to serve all this area. And then maybe we do... Maybe it's time we start playing with pumping water, actually. Because if we pumped water in here, we could farm this whole area, and that would be much closer to the existing amenities than having to go further north. Anyway, there was a purpose to all of this. Oh yeah, and what's our tool situation looking like? Yeah, it is trending down. Yeah, it's trending down quite dramatically, actually. But we have been building new things. Let's speed up time and just take a look at our tool production. Produce per day 4? Oh, hang on, that's less than I expected. Is it because why did that go down so much? Ah, we are out of metal. Because we are producing 9, and when all the smithies are running, we're trying to consume 15. All right, that's pretty bad, so I'm actually going to slow down time and deal with that. Have I got the tech to upgrade this? No. Well, we are in need of some more stuff then. So I guess this tailor, now you're making my armor. I could get rid of this one. But I'd quite like a bit of a bigger smelting operation. I mean, we're a Dundorian species. I mean, a Dundorian settlement, for goodness sake. We ought to have fires of industry burning. Maybe I redesign this a bit. Yeah, central refining running out of tools is certainly troubling. Let's... Well, you know what I could also do? We could temporarily... Let's unemploy a couple of our... I should name these. This is weapons. Oh, not with caps lock. Lop? Lock. Weapons there. Armor here. This is tools. Just so I know which is which when we're looking at them from this screen. Okay, so we're gonna, yeah, we'll produce less weapons and armor for a minute here. And then that will, that'll make things a little bit easier for us to manage. For now, do I want to dramatic? I mean, we could just copy this and plop it down here, basically, if we wanted to. It's still really close to the tools. I think that is what I'm actually going to do for now. Let's just double up. I believe it's more space efficient to build a bigger room. But I'm okay with this for now. We do need to, at some point, though... I said I was going to do it when we needed to expand the industries, didn't I? Alright, well we will, but not this time. Because right now I want to deal with crime. But next time, when we have nothing better to do, I'm going to overhaul the layout of the Dundorian settlement. Because it's not... I mean, it's not beautiful, is it? So flip that around, put it there, then actually refill all that. Good. There we go. God, the game runs so fast on top speed. And then do we want to double the number of employees here? I mean, we have a fair number of free Dundorians, right? Only 11, actually. Let's not go too crazy. Maybe we put it at 3 for now. So with 3 Dundorians working there, and 5 here, we should be back in the green on metal. Yes, especially with the cut down amount of armor and weapons that we're producing. Fine. That should be, if we speed up time for a bit, we should find ourselves fight our way into the positives here. Yes, good. Not by too much. However, we are now underproducing on ore. Do we have 3 Garthimmeries? I think we have a few, right? We have 25 odd job Garthimmeries. Oh, that's probably why their happiness has dropped. There's only 3 people working the training ground right now. Because these guys are fully trained. Which means actually I can create another Garthimmery thing. And do the same thing. Have them train. They were the van. This can be the guard. Together they are our army. Good. So, oh, but only 20 of them. Alright, good. Now a bunch of those Garthimmeries go back in, and they will get happier, I think. Yes, their occupation dramatically rose as we did that. Good. And the idea here is that these guys, these guys will still need to train occasionally. They're at 94%. They have 6 armor and 8 short swords each. But, yeah, they will still need training occasionally, but given that they don't have to train all the time, I hope we're going to be able to maintain 2. And given that we had only 2 training then, that suggests to me you only have to train about 10% of the time to maintain basically full training in an area, which is, you know, promising. So you guys, yeah, only 20 guys, and then, yeah, we have some free weapons especially. Let's equip them with that. Good. Yeah. Now, how many weapons are you guys using? And is there an easy way to see? Not really. Guess we should split the armor evenly between the 2. Like so. Actually, do we have enough to give them both full weapons? Good. Yeah, that works. Okay, cool. Tools training back up again, I'm hoping. Metal is a little low. Why is our metal still not good enough? All right, well, let's put these 2 in. I'd rather make sure our metal, you know, never drops down, because metal, you know, metal into tools is a really, really core element of our production here. So yeah, up to 12, so we should be able to affording to deploy. Yeah, make sure everything is assigned. Should be able to afford to deploy 1,200 tools. Good. You want to give us some stuff? Nope. Given that I've denied all these commands, by the way, do you want to just unify? I think I need to get some havens, admin, embassy points. We need some, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Ambassadors. But we can already talk to them. So diplomacy. We can unite. Their opinion is 2.96 right now, negative on this. But if I gave you all my bread, yeah, the value of this is minus 5.8 million. So if we gave you, and this is a way to just buy, you know, unification with somebody. So if we gave you all our resources, I think this will have a value. Oh, I misclicked. Oh, but it stays there. I think this would have a value of our wealth, which was like 800,000 or something. I'll give you all this money as well. Look at that. So I mean, we could save up money and then just buy these guys, which would be interesting. But yeah, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Okay, so law. Law is what I was trying to do this whole time. That's why we did this whole jiggery-pokery. Now, you guys can actually just stop. And let's just full-on remove this room. Because we don't have enough leather production to count for both of them. This one should be fine. Using 17 leather when it's at full capacity. Yeah, I mean, we don't even have enough for that. So, alright. Law. So, we're going to start with guard posts. Now, guard posts have varying sizes, as you can see. And maybe just one huge central guard post would be a good way to start. Obviously, we're going to struggle to find somewhere to put it. Maybe we could dig it into the mountain. If I put it over here, it's still got pretty good coverage on those farms out to the east, but not on the southern town. If I put it out here, yeah, it's got pretty good coverage of the southern town. Obviously we'll need, actually difficult to see, it looks like it's covering over here a bit, but we can just put a small one over here, I think. It's not quite covering everything, is it? A medium-sized one. 3 guards. 2 to 3 guards. It really seems like it's more efficient to do the bigger ones. But yeah, some guards out in the open air, fully covering the insects, making sure no one's stealing any of my ore. Seems good. Let's plop that down there. Surround it by some of this stuff. And I think we established we were going to need more ore, right? Yeah, we need 19.1 ore production, ideally. So, finally time to upgrade this. I can't, because I don't have the metal. But I should, if I speed up time here, relatively shortly have the metal. Upgrade it to save the manpower so that we can have more people working in the... There we go. More people working in the... Becoming, you know, more Garthimries, that is, becoming warriors. You want to give me some metal? You know what? This time I will accept. Because we could do with the metal right now. So what do we need again? Sorry. 19. This is making 13 now, even with the upgrade. With 2 more workers. 18. 7th worker. I think we don't have any Garthimri free workers. Oh, we have 1 more. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so 21 production here now. Should be fine. With the coal, yeah, we're still fine on coal. Good. Okay, a couple of extra Garthimris working the mines. Got that sorted. Good. So now we have this guard post here. They are keeping this area secure. Yeah, I think a guard post out here, like a really big one out here with 8 people working here. It seems like a lot, and it is. If I embed it in this settlement, I think it works. Maybe this is where I do my executions as well. Like the executions ideally want to be a bit more central. Does it show you oh no, it's a designable one, so it's not going to tell me like where the area of effect is. Stockade hold criminals before processing them. Yeah, so I think, yeah, big guard post out here should keep everybody lawful for a long time. And let's make sure near these near the Fish Boys settlement, let's make this where we do our law for a bit. So we're going to have a big guard post right next to a stockade. With an entrance down here. Good. Seems fine. This can hold 7.5 prisoners. All right, we'll make it such that it needs exactly one guard. Seems good. 1.1. Nope. How about if I grow it just there? There we go. Yeah. Seems fine. Entrance here, so you know guards can bring them in nice and easily. And then we'll need a execution point. Some scaffolds. I could put that in the center though. Like we hold them out here and then we bring them in across the bridge. And they know if they're being brought across the bridge, their time is up. Yeah, I kind of like that. I think we should probably... Let's move this. There's room in these houses, isn't there? No, there isn't. How about a... Where can I fit another house for these guys instead? I could move fish. The fish warehouse is a little oddly placed right now, isn't it? Oh, we only have one of the 7 woodcutters that should be working here. What are you guys up to? Is it just that the fruit orchards are taking up too much of your time? I guess it must be. Do we need to go up to 50 of you? Why are the fruit orchards taking up so much of your time? We have 9 fruit orchard workers. 11 here, so that's 20. Should leave plenty. I guess there's a bunch of you that are retired. Lazy buggers. How dare they? Seems to say rest homes, retirees, 0 out of 0. Is this why? Filter by Tilapis. Yeah, retiree. Darn it. Retirees are messing up my maths. Just let in an additional 5 for now, just to tide me over. Okay, all getting built. This is costing a lot of fancy stone. But given that it's going to basically completely blanket the area in lore, I think that should be good. I should move the hospital underground. And then that'll give me some more space for housing. I've already upgraded the housing I can, haven't I? Yeah. Or maybe it is time for the Cretonians to move out. How do Cretonians and Amivus get along? They do not like each other. Cretonians do not like them, and they are not liked in return. Okay, so I won't move a bunch of Cretonians into this village. Okay, I guess it is time then. We need a Cretonian village up here, basically. Which is going to be, you know, relatively similar to the little village we built down here. In fact, you know what? Maybe I just copy this? No. In fact, maybe I'm going to do that now. I'm going to design a kind of outlying village city center. And I think I might try and do it such that we can replicate it in the future. Maybe I should make the river into a highway. That's such a good idea. And I kind of love this. It just occurred to me, if we have like a road, you can't build stuff on here. We want to save space to not have so many roads everywhere else. If we just build a road down the middle here, if we get to our new Krator village up here, because the Krator jobs are very heavily centralized in this northern bit, so it would make sense for their village to be around here. But we need it to be. I want it to be a bit set back from the river so that it's not using up valuable fertile land. Yeah, it works, because if I build the village here, that leaves me with irrigation, with kind of this area to be our farms, if they're centered here. Okay, that works. That being the case, let's cut this a bit to allow for a 2x2 road. And they like cobblestone. We'll build this across. And I'll build it to the center, and then... yeah, I kind of love the idea of a big central river road like this. And then it connects down like this. Nice. And then it goes up here and across. At the same angle, ideally. There we go. Nice. Cancel some bits of it there. Is that right? It looks a bit janky. Let's have a little kind of meeting point where it joins up there. I kind of love that. And then it cuts north again. Like so. Until it meets the... no, it should probably go... yeah, give me the other designer. Comes across to here. Goes up here. We can have it go further than it technically needs to. Well, actually, that's not further than it needs to, is it? Because we're going to need to connect it in here. In a few places. Such that they can go to work nice and easily. Yeah, that seems good. And then the actual village will be here. Build it across. Good. And we want to make sure we go inland of fertility. So the village starts, and I'll build a road to remind myself where. Village starts at that point, because inside of there is vital farming land. In fact, we could have town squares on the river. No, you can't. I was going to say because I can build a decoration, but I can't build a decoration on here. This looks a little janky. Don't get me wrong. Maybe I need to make it wider. Slightly wider than the 2x2s. The 2x3s do seem like that looks better than that, doesn't it? Let's do that then. And then yeah, meeting points having rounded corners. I kind of like. I kind of love this. Should make it easier for everyone to go to and from all of these farming locales. And then we should move. No, I think we should have a new warehouse rather than replace this one. I'll put another warehouse over here. Well, I guess I don't need to yet, right? Because we're just building the farm with the housing. We're not planning on building a bunch of new farms yet. So what I'll do is, when we need new farming, I'll build a new warehouse to store extra food up here to more easily collect the food from this. Because this one, yeah, only narrowly covers what we have here. It's interesting that coverage goes so much further north than east. Oh, right, because there's no connection here. Once that's connected, this will be interesting to see, actually. Let me take a screenshot so I don't forget what it currently looks like. I want to know if, once this finishes building, that expands the reach of this warehouse, which it makes sense that it would, right? Okay, so build across. Nice. Now yeah, good. Makes a lot of sense. So I can connect across much more easily now. Okay, so we have 50 Cretonians, and we have, how many spare workforce do we have? Only 6 spare Cretonians right now. So I'm actually going to let in another 25 and build the village to cater to 75 Cretonians. Update the count in my spreadsheet. Yeah, we have, if that will give us, just because I like having a big surplus of odd jobbers. We should have more Dundorian odd jobbers. Remember, we always need at least some Dundorian odd jobbers. Good, okay. The happiness is dipping, but that's because some of them are homeless and things. We will deal with it. Now this road has now become badly outdated. If you could cut through here as well. Do I want someone... Hang on. Okay. Yeah, we'll remove that. Do I want someone who lives here to walk onto the road and then out again to get to their farm down here? I might move the justice area, by the way, once we've done this, because I'm intending to clear this housing, basically. Sorry, lads, eminent domain and all that. This still doesn't look quite right. What if I remove that bit and that bit? Is that better? I think that does look a bit better. It still doesn't look perfect, but we will put the water back in those 2 spots as well. Yeah, I think that doesn't look too bad. This looks kind of cool. Okay, and this cotton farm, or this cotton farm, can very slightly expand. Though actually I still want it to be 2 workers, so I'll expand it in 1 bit and then cut it back like that. Good. Okay, so this is Dundorian land. You should be welcomed. Shift S for structures. You should be welcomed to Dundorian land by a great roundness. Great feeling of roundness. As well as... They care about light, right? Yeah. As well as a set of flaming torches. Maybe set into the roundness thing. Good. So that every time they're walking in and out of their settlement, they're getting a nice environmental buff. Seems good. Actually, we have some space here that we won't need, actually. Given that the north-south road we are replacing now with this river-based transit system. So let's cut this bit of the road. Because we're, yeah, the new river road is in. Then also we need to enable maintenance on this section. Good. Oh, wait, sorry, is that a dirt road, though? No, it's cobblestone road. Good. Okay, so what do we have? 75 of them. So we need housing for 75 of them. Which, with an upgraded house of 14 people per house, 30, 60, you need 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 houses gets to 60. So let's go with 6 houses to start with. Which means they don't need upgrading. And they like mud buildings, I think? Or no, they're the ones that prefer wood. Let me check. I know we just checked this. They're the ones that prefer wood. Yes, it's the fishy boys that like mud. So in terms of the housing, should they have housing first, services on the right, jobs on the left? Or services first, then housing? I think it should be housing first. But we'll give a bit of space so that things can happen more circular. How many houses did I say? 3. These residents are getting boosted by 4 per house. So with 3 houses, that's 42. So if I build 6 houses, that should be enough for, yeah, 84, which is more than we need, allowing for some growth. Or actually, you know what? We just build them so we don't have to upgrade them, because the density up here is not that significant. Do they like living in upgraded houses? Building. Climate, other, bench, battle, storage. Oh, they like having rations stored. That's interesting. Maybe we should get on that. Does anyone care about houses being upgraded? The house upgrader, you would think, would say something about that. Accommodate more lodges. This house is upgraded. Can I... No. I don't think bigger houses are better. So we will start with just enough housing to actually fit these people non-upgraded. And I'll set it up like... Actually, you know what? Let's really make a nice town for these guys. Give them more space in the center. Give them a big cobblestone area. And then we'll put decorations down the middle. Because they like harmony, don't they? I think they might like harmony and dread. Yeah, they like dread and harmony. How are you getting this dread? What's being dread right now? Nothing is emitting dread. So I'm not sure where you're getting that from. Anyway, yeah, give me some trees in the center of town. So kind of here, and here to make them nice and even, and then also some flower beds in the middle. So it's a really nice town. And then they have their well. W, Control W, Shift W. They will need a warehouse as well, actually. Let's put the warehouse. You have to go through the warehouse to get to services. No, the warehouse being behind the services should be fine. Because this is, remember, this is their... Maybe the warehouse should be closer to town than the houses, ideally, but... let's put the other stuff in first. So you need a hearth. I think 12 spots hearth sufficient for 75 people. I mean, this hearth is still not at max load, so yeah, this bigger hearth should be plenty. And ideally, it would fit in this space, but it doesn't. And that irks me. But that's okay. We'll put it like this. Yeah, so hearth. We'll keep it in line with the houses. And then the well. I think a smaller well is sufficient. If it's not, we'll look into it, but I think that'll be enough. They need their own speaker, of course. So they can hear what's going down. And we're going to need a food store and a market. One on each side, I think, seems appropriate. 74 people, we're probably going to need a fairly big food store. I reckon it can handle 15 subjects per day. No, yeah, 15 is an estimate how many it will be able to serve. When it says an estimate of how many it will be able to serve, does it mean per day? And they need to go here once every 3 days, right, for Crotonians? No, they're one of the ones that eat normally. They should go once every 2 days. It feels like this won't be enough, because this should be able to serve 60 people, but I bet it will. I bet that will be plenty sufficient, although I have put it the wrong way around, I now realize. There we go. Cut that back. Good. And a marketplace. Likewise, I think the marketplaces are pretty much the same. Oh, but hang on. Put it that way around. Yeah, it reckons it can serve 40 people per day. You definitely don't need to go to the market every day. But hey, it employs one person either way, so I think that works fine. Let's put the warehouse back behind the market. Makes sense to me. And we'll make it... It doesn't need to be that big a warehouse, honestly. Let's just do this. Chunk, chunk. Doors at both ends. Seems good. And then... What else do we want here? We need a loo. How are our loos managing capacity-wise? This one is at 100% load. All of our loos are at 100% load. Okay, that's not good. It has... So if I'm building a loo, and it says it can serve 20 people per day, we'll assume that's right. And then we look at, like, the Cretonians. A particular Cretonian. And we say, you need a loo once every 3.3 days. So I think I multiply that number by 3. So if I copy this, that should be enough loo space to meet the needs of 3.3. I can't remember how much they take. Let me... Not laboratory. Lavatory. So if I build one of these over here, I think mirroring rather on the other side makes sense. So this has 7 services. This said it can handle 24 people. So if we assume they need to go about every 3 days, that should be sufficient for 74 people. I think. Then we need not even that many basins. Good. Again, doors on both sides. Done. Now what are we missing? Guard post should cover it already. Got a food stall. We don't have a shrine. I guess we might get rid of this shrine. Yeah, I think getting rid of this shrine would make sense, given that they're moving up here. And, I mean, we really don't need that many workers. So a shrine, pride of place, shrine in line with the main road makes sense to me. Though maybe allowing a bit of room for people to listen to the speaker. That looks good. I don't think they need their own hospital. Well, they're in, they should probably have a stage, shouldn't they? Do I want to put a stage in? No, they don't. People don't need to go to the theatre that often, right? I think they can go into the centre of town for theatres. We'll see if they do, and if they don't, maybe we'll adapt it. Now, what else? Yeah, they've got their shrine. I'm just going through everything, making sure. Don't think they need a stocks or anything. Do they need their own janitor? Let's take a look. Nope. I think that should be just about covered. Not quite. Is this showing all of their coverage? No, it's just showing this one. So this janitor could do with moving just a little bit over here. And in fact, we don't need this roundness anymore. Now I think about it. Because we are no longer catering to Cretonians so much over here. They will be coming in here to work this farm, as opposed to coming in here. So I can move this janitor just to here, and then I think that will narrowly cover this whole area. So are there any buildings I've missed? I mean, I know we've intentionally missed stage, but I don't think so, right? So now we go, hey, you guys like cobblestone, huh? Well, how about this cobblestone? And then we blam down a whole bunch of it, but not actually. Oh, what have I done? I've replaced the walls. Refurbish this. Give it walls. Door, door. Refurbish this. Give it walls. Sorry, doors. Door, door. And cancel the kind of extrusive bits. Okay, and then... yeah, we have some room to expand. Put another service here if I think of something else that they really need. I mean, maybe a barber once we get to that. Or a restaurant. I don't think you need restaurants that often, but they do like restaurants. Alright. Let's let this build. And let's see what it looks like. Oh, I think it could also do with some more roundness, honestly. And and some decorations. I think the roundness... yeah, the mud is needs more repairing, I think. Let's make some stone buildings. Oh, wooden buildings. They like wood. Let's do some wood around this. Donk, 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 donk. They shouldn't need to go through here, so I think it's fine to block that up. And then over here. Seems good. Get some roundness in there. And then maybe a bit in front of the shrine. Honoring the shrine with some roundness. Does 2? Let's see if 2 works. Alright, speed up time. And yeah, we can move this. Let's just copy the actual janitor bit. Move it over here. Oh, but I won't be able to fit the wall in if I do it there, will I? Okay, we can make a janitor that's... I can make it 2 by 2. I can't make it 1 by 1. I mean 1 wide rather, not 1 by 1. I have to shrink this grain farm even more. But... okay, yeah, if we shrink this, we could fit it in. But we're getting rid of this housing anyway, so we could just put this janitor here instead. Yeah, that works. Alright, let's just let the new Crotonian village get built. Oh, so they're all choosing to take this route to get there rather than going over the river. Interesting. Maybe I should build more. But that's because they're trying to go to the center, whereas most of the time they'll be trying to go to, you know, these fields and things. Up it goes. Need to designate out this housing. There we go. Just the Tonians moving in. Shrine taking some building, but that's fine. Our furniture tanking, but that's just because we're using a bunch, I think. Yeah, we could probably still do with a bit more carpentry. Haven't got the tech for that. Haven't actually got the capacity to expand it. Let's just do a quick little chunk. All of this is in aid, remember, of trying to get the darn... what am I trying to say here? The law. We're trying to just get the law established here. It's the main reason I've been doing all of this. It's just to try and get our legal system to have some space to execute people. All right, here we go. This is looking pretty nice. I like the load on these things is not looking too high yet, but it will increase when we get rid of the other housing options for them, I think. What am I doing here? Why can't I build? Road already exists there? Does it? Oh, it's just buried under some wood. Okay. So how is this looking harmony-wise? We got some spreading from here, but not much. Could do with some more harmony around this. Got some big trees by the shrine. That looks good. Get those up. And maybe some big trees by the entrance as well. Got room for them. Nice. And we could do some here as well, but it doesn't spread through walls very well. Maybe a big one in the center, actually. Yeah, let's do that. I want this place to be harmonious. And then around this, we're getting the roundness pretty good. It does spread from these two, just two little things. pretty effectively. I have shown my treasure. No, thank you. Let's do that. I don't think we need these two. And on the other side as well. Is that going to spread it enough? Almost to the middle. There we go. Some good roundness there. So path usage-wise, they are going to and from this way. So I think we will put a road down the side here. Make that a bit quicker for them. That works. Okay, so now I'm hoping to see them using the road. Yes, they are indeed using the road. But some of them are wanting to make this trip, interestingly. All the way down the side here. Okay. But yeah, looking good up here. Okay, so now we need the warehouse. So this is Big Man. Big Man northeast. And this needs what they eat, which is fruit and meat, I think. Oh, right, yes. So the market should not have all this stuff. They don't get almost any of this. It should have clothes and furniture. And the food stall should have... No, they don't like meat. They like vegetables, so I'll leave it checked, but we don't have any. They don't like fish. It's bread and vegetables. Okay. So, bread and vegetables. Let's upgrade it as well. Bread and vegetables, 1 worker. And they need furniture, and they need clothes, and they need... Actually, I guess they don't need tools, now I think about it, because there's no industry going on up here. I mean, they need tools for the farms. So... I mean... Yeah, maybe... Well... I don't want to spread the tools. No, I think the tools for the farms, they can go to central storage to get stuff for that. I think that's all they need, right? So we'll pull from central food and from central storage. Good. Okay. Looking nice, I think. We are a little short on leather. Our tailors are using almost exactly all the leather we have. We do not need this much tailoring, though. We don't use that much leather armor. So let's reduce that. Maybe I should put leather armor on my archers when we actually have archers. It's probably a good idea. Okay, so there we go. Ah, the lavatory should be remade into wood. But that doesn't actually redo the walls. So then we remake it to wood. And is that how you do it? You remake it to wood and then you do overwrite this to wood. But how do we put wooden ceiling? There we go. Cancel here and here. And then we do wooden ceiling block by structure. Yeah, but I'm trying to overwrite. You can have stone doors. Right, hang on. Service this. Doors here and here, but made out of wood. It just refits it again. It doesn't actually change it. All right, remove it then, and remove the doors. Then give me a lavatory made out of wood. A door here and a door here. There we go. Oops, there we go. Yeah, we should make sure everything up here is made out of wood. Now, we also need, it occurs to me, some Dundorians, because the market is going to be worked by Dundorians. And these should be upgraded as well, by the way. Only the best, my piggy boys. We don't have fancy hearths yet. I should probably upgrade. We can do this twice. Nice. We should probably upgrade our hearths. Okay, but this doesn't need to be made out of wood because the people working it won't be piggy boys. It looks like I made it half out of wood, but that's okay. So yeah, we need a little Dundorian house. And how many Dundorians do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? I think that's right. House 5. So a little Dundorian house. They'll also make use of the services. And Dundorians get along perfectly well, remember, with the rest of these guys. So we'll put it up here by the made out of stone. I could make it out of grandstone, but I don't think I'm interested in spending that much grandstone. But yeah, our little thing. And now what we know now is that if I copy this, like this section, like that, this is a roundness-loving service sector. And obviously, we might just swap out the shrine, we might just swap out some other stuff, but that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think that will be that'll be productive. Now, you guys, still lots of them living down here. Oh, they are still plumbers. Is that just because we don't have any free Cretonians? Sorry, free Dundorians? No. Why are you guys still plumbers? Did I leave you as a top priority on that? I did. Alright, nice. Don't do that. Your second choice, your first choice on lavatories. Good. Which should mean that some people move out of over here. Yeah, the cotton, mostly it's just cotton farmers that are still living down here. So, next up, the humans do need some new housing as well. Or we could... Whoa, what the heck happened? Oh, we're still in path usage map mode. Right. We could move the lab. Like, I could do the same thing and set up a human settlement here with a lab. Or I could move this grain farm north, freeing up space for human housing here. Anyway, step 1. Remove the piggy boy housing from here. And here. This is all human housing. I could also actually house upgrader. What was it? No, Shift S. Yeah, house upgrader. Let's upgrade the human housing over here, the ones that we've kind of nestled in. Is that it? It's not enough. What's this? No one lives here? No, some Dundorians live here. There we go. Cut all that down. These are already upgraded. Maybe upgrade these two. Then if I remove these, are we going to have homeless humans? I think we may. Let's see. Some homeless Dundorians. Really? Are you odd jobbers? Ah, no, right. Sorry, those are the homeless nobles. You are homeless. Okay. Give me a upgrade on the local guys. Should solve that. Now we just have some homeless Garthimmeries. Well, again, hit me with a home upgrade on some of these, please. Good. Furniture still trending down. Even with the extra one settling in. It surprises me. Oh, and the bread situation is pretty dire right now. And it's just because we're eating more than we're making, I think. There's not that much spoilage going on either. Yeah, we're consistently eating more. Oh, no, actually, my red spreadsheet does say we should be eating a fair amount. We might have to move some of our pastures. Okay, that would work. If I move this pasture, I free up loads of room for human housing back here. Then we can make the laboratory rather, a little bit less janky. But let's put that on the to-do list. Right now, we still need to finish law. So we have 4 people in the stockade right now. A vandalist, a thief, and a vandalist. Okay, so if I set up... So we can't have a court yet. I don't know if we can like let people go without courts, but so we'll build a stocks with 2 slots in it by the market, you know, a place to take your family. Right here. And next to that, to remind them that they could be getting off worse, we'll build a scaffold with some decorations which increase fear. 100% fear. I don't know whether... We have executions, place for chopping off heads or a place for hangings? I feel like, which is more humane? Chopping off heads, maybe? I'm not sure. It looks like it's going to be a bit bigger here. Let's do a beheading station. Now there isn't enough fear, so we'll throw in some more. Oops, let's throw in some more decorations to be expanding it. There we go. Put in some. The gallows smaller. No, the gallows are bigger. They have 1 executioner. No, 0.1 executioner. We can have a huge thing here with still room for more. Put decorations on each side of it. There we go. And then we should say, yeah, so we have our stocks go up. So in terms of law, use this, no, sorry. Use the stocks, yes, but also execute. Like, I don't quite understand when you do which. Maybe I'll make the stocks bigger than this, actually, so that it kind of fits. There. Good. And then, should the guard post instead be, where did I put it? There it is. Should it instead be here? Oh, it doesn't quite fit. The guard post being more central does make sense, I think. Because if I put it over here, as we have, then as the Dundorian thing extends in here, we're going to have trouble reaching it. So let's put it down here. Right, we're going to remove this shrine. Let's put it right there, right next to the area, and we don't need this river road anymore, I don't think. So we can cut most of that. Cool. Then remove this. And then the stockade. Does the stockade need to be near the guard post? I don't know. Let's put the stockade here. An ill-fated location. Into the mountain here. That's. I was trying to kind of, put them somewhere they wouldn't like to be. Maybe in here. Just because I like the idea of the stockade being set into the mountain so that you have no chance of escape. Wait for that to be built before I go to this one. So, what are you doing? Are you praying or are you about to be executed? Oh, he's dead. Can only be dumped in a mass grave. We do have... Ah, right, so I should undeactivate this. How do I do that again? Turn on or off activity. There we go. Yes, the prisoners that are unceremoniously executed get dragged down here. And then, should I be... Here we go. Law has dramatically increased. So let's... I mean, we're not exiling. I guess we're just doing nothing with the other ones, but... Are the stocks getting used? I don't know what controls whether the stocks get used. I guess it's if your guys are in prison, they're taken out instead and put into the stocks. But this whole area should be paved. Right, now do I have homeless humans? Yes, just 2 though. And I want to leave some more space here. What am I going to do here? I don't know. Maybe a restaurant? Let's put another little human house. Where can I fit another human house? I could move the fish thing. I could fit it here if I took out the road at the back. Yeah, for now. No. We know we're gonna do humans next, so. This law is not capped out. It's still increasing. We have 1 count arrested. We have a 63% arrest count. We have 0.8 deterrent. Yeah, I still don't quite understand how this whole system works, but... Drought! It's alright, we have lots of food stocks. Yeah, so now we have the new stockade in here. Let's remove the old one. Okay. Good. Oh yeah, the drought really turns everything yellow, huh? That's quite cool. Okay, we have a little bit of a ore problem. Why are you making nothing? Because this one is full, which is not being fetched because this one is not full. So where are your workers? What are you doing? Listening to the news? I need you fetching ore. Not sure why you're not already going to fetch the ore. Are you doing it? You're fetching stuff, yeah. Walking to job? Oh, sorry, that's the blacksmith. Are you at least fetching ore? Yes. No, he's bringing coal. I'm surprised that this isn't prioritizing the things that are more low, but as long as there's some ore here, it doesn't make a huge difference. So tools-wise, we still don't seem to be going as high as I'd like. 12 tools, though. It really should be enough. Metal is trending in the right direction, at least. Okay. So I think the to-do lists in the next episode... Wow, it's 7 o'clock. I mean, the to-do list in the next episode is... Step 1, I want to probably move both of these pastures over here instead. It gives a much shorter trip to work for our Crotonians, which will be good. And then secondly, use all that new space for a new human settlement, which will involve taking out the human housing in the center here, which allows me to expand the size of some of the services that we're offering here and generally kind of neaten up the town center. And I think, you know, things were pretty ugly to start with, and they're not perfect now by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm liking the kind of organic, you know, okay, now we move these guys over here so we can have a law district, and then we're going to have a restaurant district soon, I think, and stuff like that. And look at this. People are absolutely thrilled. We could have so many more people. And yeah, also, I guess, increasing the size of our armed forces is on the docket for next time. We're up to, 80% training. And an even split on our armor. It looks like armor has kind of stabilized. Ah, but that's because... That's not because storage is full. I guess we just make it pretty friggin' slowly with just one armorer and one blacksmith. But anyway, that is in the next episode. A human settlement replacing the Endulent pastures, and then it's time to better organize some of these industries, and we want to probably grow our furniture industry, and we could do with making our military industry bigger as well, actually. In fact, specifically the armorer. Let's double up on the armorer, because you produce armor at half speed compared to weapons, it looks like. Yeah, so let's put a second guy on the armorer. Looks good to me. Nice. Drought's over, looks like. Good stuff. And yeah, the Crotonians, given that we have so many of them being odd jobbers, so they're getting no job fulfillment, they're kind of loving life. Only one free Dundorian. Well, know what that means. Let another 25 in. Need those. Some people starving. Oh, look at this. Look at all these guys arrive from the road in the south. Love to see that. That's nice. And yeah, I'm kind of pleased with the idea of the river highway. They're not using it to go up and down much, but as there are more, you know, things that actually need them to do that. Why are you so purple? Ah, you're the Master of Industry. He's inspecting the room. Cool. Okay, but I will see you in the next episode. Thanks so much for watching. See you then. Bye-bye.